So we've got Antargaz here today. You can see the white old citerne, aérienne it's called because it's in the air. But we're having one enterré. So he's dug the most huge hole and this crazy looking thing is going in the ground. Now at first they said, oh, it needs to be 3 meters from your house or 3 meters from the extremities of your property. And then they came this morning and said, oh no, the enterré, they only need to be 1.5 meters away. So we're putting it quite close to our path here. And I had to sign this attestation piece of paper. So basically, if they dig into any pipes to do with water or electricity or anything else, they're covered. So I signed that. Let's have a look closer up. I don't think it's level, so they're going to lift it up again. So they said that they would put the gas that's in our old one, which is about 50% full, into this one, so we can use it straight away today when our plumber has been. He's going to do it, he's going to do it. Oh, keeps falling over. There we go. So yeah, I've just realised that because the hole is so big, they've actually got to put some of that earth back and flatten it out. And then I think they're going to ask me what I want to do with the big pile that's left. We certainly haven't got a manicured lawn, but I'm quite glad we're doing this just before Christmas when we're not in our garden so much, because it'll take a little time for our grass to recuperate from having this heavy digger on here. We didn't have ice on the ground this morning when we woke up, but it's still pretty cold and we've got a cloudy day today. So it doesn't look like much at the moment, but here we've got 2 level platforms of concrete and we're going to extend that out with decking, and then this is going to be kind of a summer yoga area, and I'm going to put a kind of roof, but it's all going to be open at the front. So that's why we didn't want to put our citerne kind of over here. And so we've put it to one side, so this area is going to be nice and level, and with the soil that's left we'll flatten it out and then we'll have a kind of extended flat grass area in front, which will be really nice. So we've got the plumber coming at 2, and these guys here said that the pipes to go into the house will have to be cut into the concrete, so it'll be interesting to see how that happens. I thought it could go above ground, but I don't know, I suppose something to do with the temperature, or I don't know. I don't think this gas that we have is fussy about cold and hot, but it needs protection. It doesn't want to get bashed around, so being in the ground I suppose is safer. So they're using the farmer's track, which is quite handy, so you can just lift things over with their big arm. So this guy's laying down some weird yellow netting, not quite sure why. Maybe it's so if you dig a fork in you'll come to that instead of bashing into the metal citerne. So yeah, we paid €300, which is a kind of warranty for this process to be happening today. and when we use all of our gas up, then we'll have to pay for it to be filled again, and for the tonnage it's I think about 1,800 euros at the moment for that to be filled. So we're going to try not to use too much because it's pretty pricey, heating your house, heating your water, etc. So the guy just told me that the yellow mesh is actually an indication that there is gas underneath, because there are different cuves that have different things in, so yellow means gas. So now he's put on the compressor, and he's going to transfer the gas from one to the other. So the dial reads in percentage, and this cuve out in the open is a bit bigger, and it's 45%. So when it goes into the one in the ground, it'll seem like a lesser percentage, but it's the same amount of gas. And apparently they can't put in more than 85%, because in the summer when it gets hot, it expands, so you need room for movement. Oh, there we go, that's gas. Crazy, into the atmosphere. So there's a funny noise, and the fatter pipe is where the liquid gas is coming down and in, and the thinner one I think is kind of the pressure, it's pushing it, so it needs two pipes. So you can see the curve of the top of the tank there, and that little thing there is showing you how much is in there. It's a little bit smelly, but not too much. And he's just told me that this pile of wood is way too close. He says anything that could light and become flames has to be 3 meters away. So we're going to have to move all of that wood, which is a bit of a shame because it's so beautifully stacked. So the digger's back in place. Our pile of earth is left for us to do what we want to do with and flatten it out, etc. So the last thing we have to do is to unbolt our aérienne, which is the airborne tank, from the, what do you call it, you know, that big hard platform, and then they'll use their special hook and they'll put it on their lorry and take it away. And then we'll have two nice flat spaces, which is kind of what I wanted, even though this is a slightly more expensive option. We couldn't have left it anyway how it was, because it was outside of regulation. It was too close to the house. It had to be 3 meters away, so yeah, we had to do this. So there we go, that's it, done and dusted.